think there's a huge misunderstanding about what private lenders are, private money, private investors. There's so many different ways that term is used. Hard money, which is a term that's not a lot of people love that term, even especially people that do hard money loans that are hard money companies. The fact of the matter is that there's been thousands of real estate investors that have borrowed millions of dollars, maybe billions of hard money that have made millions of dollars from it. So Robert Kiyosaki one time said, I don't necessarily just focus on buying low and selling high, whether it's buying stocks or buying a company. I also buy high and sell higher. Because if you're willing to buy high, then you're willing and you're able to sell higher if you know what you're doing. If you can make that equation work, you're still going to make money and you're going to eliminate your competition. Private money, private loans, private investors, whatever you want to call it, means that you have a direct relationship with an individual. It could be your family member, it could be a friend, it could be a business partner, whatever, who has surplus cash. They could have it in an IRA, or they put it in a self-directed IRA, which is another topic for another day we'll get into in our funding stuff. It could be that they just have a lot of cash laying around. It could be that they just sold a home. It could be any reason. It could be that it's in the stock market and they're getting tired of the volatility and the low returns and the false promises and all that. It's an individual who you're going to create a relationship with. You're going to strike an agreement, a contract that I'm going to borrow money from you at 10% or 8% or 12%, whatever it is, and you have a direct relationship, and I'm going to use the money, I'm going to do the project, and I'm going to pay you back. Hard money is somebody who is a private investor who has raised a ton of money and then is now marking that money up and selling it to somebody else and providing loans as a company. And so a lot of people in the group are saying they're looking for funding. They can't find funding. They don't. There's no shortage of hard money lenders that are out there. You could go to biggerpockets.com. You can go to reiclub.com. We'll have it on flippingawesome.com soon. And there's lists of hard money lenders. You just got to find one that lends in your state. We happen to really like the people at Iron Bridge Lending. If you go to ironbridgelending.com, they lend in 20-something states. So there's a good chance that I guess almost 50% chance that they're in your state. Call them, look them up, call them, talk to Richard and ask them. And, you can find them. So there's no shortage of that. If you have a good deal, you get funding. Private money is a different story. You're going to have relationships. It's going to be involved with networking. But there are companies that pose as private lenders or private lending companies, but there's no such thing. If it's a private lender, it's a relationship that you have with an individual. And if it's a company that you have a relationship with, it's a hard money lender, period. Asset-based lender, if you want to call it that. So just kind of wanted to clear that up, because when people are coming into the business, if they don't know what's what, then they don't know where to go. If you go to your regular bank, if you go to a Chase or a U.S. Bank or what have you, they do real estate loans, but they're not going to give you money to speculate and buy a distressed property and the rehab money and flip it. They're not going to do that. They may give you money for a rental property if it's a good deal, but that's not where you're going to be able to get money to flip houses. Again, private money, it could be even from international investors. If you guys know people or know people who know people that are especially in China, in the different Asian countries, in Australia, a lot of these wealthy individuals in those areas, they want to invest in American assets. They want to lend money in America, and so they will do it. And I don't know what they're used to in terms of rates of return, but you could come up with something. If it's a long-term loan and you want to borrow money from them and pay them 5%, they may love that, and you give them some sort of security instrument. And obviously, talk to an attorney that can draft that up for you. So anyway, that's the difference: private money, hard money. I do have something a thought that I wanted to develop a little bit further and talk to you guys later this week. So hopefully you get something out of that. Does anybody have any questions on those two topics, or do you guys already know all that? Is this like super basic? I know I need to talk about super basic stuff because of the emails that I'm getting and the comments in the group. So let me know if you have any questions on that specifically, because those are two of, say, 9 or 10 different types of funding that you can get access to. The lines of credit, income financing, there's seller financing, all that. We're not going to talk about that today, but private money is with you and an individual. Hard money is somebody who's raised a lot of private capital and then is doing it as a business. So hopefully that helps and you guys can get that straight. But I wouldn't get so hung up, and this is something we're going to talk about more soon. I wouldn't get so hung up on I can't get funding for my deal, so I can't move forward. Really learn marketing better and wholesale deals. Just get good at getting the deals. And it's easier to find cash buyers than it is to find lenders and go through that process. If the deal is good and you get it at a good price and it's in an area that people want to invest in, it's not hard to find rehabbers that have cash. And that's, again, something I want to talk about soon because I have some cool ideas for that. Okay, now I'm going to have to talk a little bit further. Nicholas, hard money, there's a ton of them. I mean, the one that we kind of recommend, we don't have any affiliation with them formally. We do recommend a lot of different things with people that we know and we do have affiliate relationships, and full disclosure, we do make some money off of that. With this lender, we don't. Iron Bridge Lending, ironbridgelending.com, check them out. Talk to Richard. They lend in 20 states. I don't know where you're at, Nicholas. DN, anyone know of a good and legit private lender? This is what I was just talking about. Anybody who has a private lender is never going to tell you who it is. So DN, private lender. Private lender is if my uncle or my former coworker or somebody that I know that has a bunch of money wants to invest $100,000 with me and he trusts me and I have deals that are appealing to him and I tell him I'm going to give him a certain amount back within a certain amount of time and I give him a security interest. That's a private relationship. He's not doing it as a company. He's not a lender. Yes, he's lending money, so we can call him a private lender, but I'm never going to tell anybody that they can call this guy, let's call him Jim. That's a private relationship. So anybody who says they know a good private lender, they're talking about a hard money lender. A hard money lender is somebody who has raised a bunch of private capital, either as an individual, maybe they're a private equity firm, a real estate investment trust, different complicated stuff like that. So you're really asking, does anybody know of a good hard money lender? Now there will be people that can teach you or help you generate your own private lender relationships, and we do recommend some of those resources. In fact, Joe, what's the one that we have? What's the link for find private lenders now? Joe's going to put a link in here. This is a product. It's a special offer with our buddy Kent Clothier, who's a really established trainer and all that stuff in the industry. He's flipped thousands of homes. He's a legit awesome dude. They have an offer that we were going to be promoting via email in a few weeks, but you can check it out now. Joe put the link. It's he has a kit like DVDs. He does training on finding private lenders. But that's a resource for you guys. I think it's like $3 or something, and you get some DVDs. It's free. You just pay for the shipping. So yeah, if somebody is sharing or telling you about something, it's a hard money lender. If you go to biggerpockets.com under, I don't know, somewhere on there, you can just search. There's hard money lender directory. REIClub.com has it. We'll have it on our site soon. So that's about that.